Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. This is your home girl, Arabia Barbosa, 914, Westchester County, New York. We're coming to you with another live video. There's been a lot going on these YouTube streets. There's been a lot going on this platform. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. And this is usually my time to go live in the morning anyway. I used to go live a couple of months ago between 3 and 3:30 as I walked my way back downtown from North Charleston to downtown Charleston. I've been living in this area for 10 years. I'm originally from New York. So I've been living in this particular area for 10 years. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. And then we got a lot going on these YouTubes. You know, recently we had departure from our sector this week. Unfortunately, it is what it is. And things just happen. Things just happen for no reason or for every reason in the world. But I'm not going to dwell on that because I really don't want to dwell on that. But what I want to talk about is some of the men in this sector. Or so I would say so-called men. I call them beta males. Beta males. And one thing I have learned about people in the sector, they are very immature. They're very insecure people. They come from toxic relations through their childhood, through their younger years, and it reflects on this platform. I don't care how much they try to hide it or what they do to try to hide it or try to cover it up. It is what it is. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. Now, I went live last night and I did a brief video about some of these beta males on this YouTube app. And I find it very interesting that I only mentioned a certain group of them. But when you really look at the platform itself, it's plenty of males that are just like that. You can't even call them men. You got to call them beta males because I never seen a bunch of people, a bunch of everyday working Joes and Janes chasing after one celebrity on this platform. And he's not a very good celebrity. He doesn't respect the people that follow him. He disrespects people. He drags people. There have been people doxxed on this platform in his name. That people have done these things in his name, have doxxed people. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. My thing is, when I'm trying to wrap around my head around is, how do people fix their selves to come on this platform to dick ride for another man, to protect another man's nuts, a perfect stranger, a millionaire, someone that's not going to do anything for you. He's not going to pay your bills. He's not going to pay your car note. He's not going to pay your rent. He's not going to pay your mortgage. He's not going to put any groceries in your house. And if he does pay you, it's a one-time deal only thing. A lot of people have sold themselves out to this dude. I'm talking about Kwame Brown. They sold themselves to a man on this platform who is an ex-NBA player who did 12 years in the NBA and was a failure at it. He's a deadbeat father. But we got a lot of males, a lot of males, a lot of insecure people that follow after this one particular individual. For what reason, I don't know. He came on this platform in 2021. Tommy Sotomayor warned all of you about him. He told you all about him. He gave you the background information. Not only did Tommy Sotomayor expose Kwame Brown, but Hassan Campbell also exposed Kwame Brown. And a lot of you did not take heed. You did not listen. You did not take heed. You did not look at the cautionary signs or the symbols or nothing. A lot of you ran straight head on into a fucking brick wall. And I'm not just talking about the current members who are Kwamites today. I'm talking about every generation of Kwamites. Every generation. Because those generations started back in 2021. And what people seem to not understand or realize that Kwame Brown is a disciple of Tommy Sotomayor. He's not an extension of Tommy. I would be lying. Because if that was true, I would have followed after him. But I never did. I never trusted him. I never believed in him. I never thought well of him. At first, I was like, okay, he got a right to come to this platform and express himself. But when I started seeing the bullshit he was doing, I had to back off of that. Soda Nation was here first. We was here before any of the Kwamite generations of groups that came to this fucking platform. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. We don't have a whole lot of leadership in none of these sectors. There is no leadership. There is no leader. There's never been a leader. There are just those that have been here for a long period of time and those that have not been here for a long period of time. Now, a lot of us, I'm speaking for myself. When I first came to the YouTubes, which was back in 2013, I was not doing or uploading videos at that time. I was not concerned about doing any kind of type of content. It never really crossed my mind until maybe 4 or 5 years after that. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. It is what it is. And I'm not going to get up here and say, hey, people got a right to follow. You shouldn't be following anybody. And this is where everything gets twisted. And people talking about cults. A lot of people got a cult-like mentality. They got a herd thinking mentality. They can't think for themselves. They have never thought for themselves. They are not independent in their thoughts. They can't make a decision without going to someone else. It's okay to get feedback from people. It's just like if I'm doing my short videos, and a lot of you that are subscribed to this channel, you know what my short videos look like. If I'm doing short videos and uploads, and I'm telling people, or I'm asking people, please feel free to write in the comment section to give me some feedback on what you think about this content. There's nothing wrong with that. And a lot of times I will listen to the suggestions of my subscribers or whoever writes in the comment section, because this is what this is all about. This is like a give and take on this platform. It's about networking. But unfortunately, we got some sick individuals on this platform, on this app, who find it necessary to not only troll people and stalk people, but also dox people. Yeah, we got people on this fucking app, on this platform, that will find out your first name, your last name, where you live, where you fucking work, who your relatives are, whether the relatives be alive or deceased. We have seen on this platform other people going after other people, totally destroying the other people's lives. All because of what? You can't do verbal combat. You can't roast. You can't handle what was said about you. My name is Arabia Barbosa. I am the BT1000, the only original BT1000 in this fucking sector. And I don't know how many times people have argued with me or went back and forth with me on this platform, but I have never been doxxed. I have doxxed myself. I have come out and gave out information that was very sensitive to myself, but I was saying even back then, I didn't give a fuck. I'm 53 years old. I started doing that shit way before I turned, 50? And I let people know who I was, what kind of work I do, what I don't do, where I go, who I associate with, if I choose to associate with a group of people or individuals or not. Because I don't really have a whole lot to fear from people on the fucking internet. So I thought. Because a couple of years ago, someone found it necessary to get in touch with the authorities, and the authorities came to this fucking apartment, knocked on this door, and confronted me about what people on social media was saying about me. I'm talking about the police were here. This was a couple of years ago. They spoke with me, they got back in the car, and they drove down the street. And I've never had another issue or any other type of problem. Shout out to the chat, shout out to the YouTube streets. And people will do things and say, well, I was looking out for you, but that's not called looking out. That's called being a vindictive coward. That's what it's called. It's called being a dick sucker from a long distance. Because there's actually people that will stalk you on this shit for years and years and years. There's people watching you right now that you probably don't think watching you. People that can't stand you. People that hate your fucking guts. They wish that you were dead. But they don't come out of their mouth and be like, oh, X, Y, and Z, because they don't have enough heart. They don't have enough nerve. So they try to do it the back door way. They try to do it the sneaky way. Because they can't fight you fair to fair, verbal to verbal, face to face, breast to breast. They can't. They can't compete with, they can't compare. They don't qualify. They don't qualify. Anybody that comes on this platform that doxes anybody for any fucking reason, you don't qualify to be on social media. We got motherfuckers on this platform that call themselves going down to a courthouse to file civil suit paperwork, calling themselves trying to get people to go to court for some bullshit charges. Because usually when people from off this platform go to court and the charges are bullshit or they're just gaslighting, what usually ends up happening? The case gets dismissed. The case gets dismissed. I haven't saw not one individual on this platform win anything going to fucking court, reporting to the white man about a black people's problem or a brown people's problem. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. A bunch of crabs in a barrel, if you ask me. And that's my fucking opinion. That's my fucking opinion. We have people on this platform, on this app, get people's information and reach out to these people's employers. And all of this was encouraged by Kwame Brown. Now, I'm sure the doxing stuff was being done way before Kwame Brown came to the YouTube streets, but it was just magnified when he came. And people don't seem to understand this. They don't seem to remember this. They don't have a good memory. It's a fishbowl memory. Their mind, their brain is like jello. It has no substance. It is not solid. People ought to fucking remember that, but you don't remember it. You don't. Just recently, Anthony had passed away. This week, earlier this week, King Mafia Anthony passed away. He passed away this week. Don't you know we got people on this platform that are trying to say positive things about him now, crying about him now, but a couple of months ago, these same individuals found it necessary to dox him, to put his whole name out there, his address, where he worked, who his family was. And I believe he fought back the best way he knew how, but he wasn't the only one. And the people that doxed him came from the Kwame Brown camp, Kwamites. Just like the same people that doxed brown-skinned lady a couple of years ago. Who were they? They were followers of Kwame Brown. They are the Kwamites. They doxed brown-skinned lady. Let's go further down the list. A couple of years ago, maybe 2 years ago, there were some clowns on here who are followers of Kwame Brown. Let's name those people. Garrick, 86, homeless. He had doxed Moonlight. They put Moonlight's information out there. Shout out to the chat, shout out to the YouTube streets. So we got a lot of dirty people on this fucking platform. And most of the ones that did a whole lot of the doxing came from the Kwame Brown camp. People call this the bus life sector. This sector does not belong to no goddamn busty bus. No fucking Geechee nigga from either South Carolina or fucking Georgia. I don't give a fuck where the nigga is from. The man is a fucking loser. His father was a fucking loser. The mother was a fucking loser. The siblings are a fucking loser. That whole family's fucked up. Just not too long ago, Kwame Brown, some of his relatives, got on this platform, started making all them cash apps and all that bullshit. Then the next thing you know, they started beefing amongst each other, arguing with each other, not from behind the scenes too much, but in front of the scenes. And they wasn't doing it because there was a weird war going on between them. They were doing it to cash in. And a bunch of you clowns, a bunch of you dummies, you weak-minded motherfuckers, you fell for it. You fell for it. Good morning, Uncle L. Shout out to you. Now, I'm just trying to get people not to have a fishbowl memory and to fucking remember. Got all these motherfuckers and different generations of Kwamites have come. Those that had common sense were able to leave. from him and create their own shit. But still, I still see the influence of Kwame Brown in those individuals, even though they no longer call themselves Kwamites or AKA We the People. We the People was a fucking joke. Shout out to the chat, because all of them turned against each other like the snakes they are. There's a song that Sis plays on his platform sometime. He hasn't played it recently. Pancake Snakes. What is it? Where is it, Uncle L? Pancake snakes, whatever the case may be. Anyway, they ate each other. It's like a crab giving birth to millions of eggs, and then because she's hungry, she doesn't want to go out and scavenge for any food. What does she do? She eats her eggs. She consumes her eggs. She consumes the babies that came from her. That's what Kwame Brown does, and that's what the Kwamites do. Shout out to the chat, or shout out to the YouTube streets. We got some motherfuckers on this app. They believe that they are leaders of what? Of an invisible kingdom, an invisible world. You don't rule over nothing. Because every time we see you, what are you doing? Some people say, well, baby, right now you got, no, I'm not gossiping. I'm giving you my point of view, my random thoughts. These words are coming out of my mouth. When I was under Tommy Sotomayor, Soda Nation for years, one of the things he used to always tell us, he said, don't go by what I say. Do your own research. And he would call out the YouTube creators he had beef with, and he would tell us to go and sub up to these other people and study these people ourselves. And a lot of us did that. That's how I found out who Cynthia G was. That's how I found out who Tanya TKO was. That's how I found out who the keyboard musician was. And then I started listening to their content. Because when people tell a story, there's already different sides of the same story. Shout out to the chat, shout out to the YouTube streets. If I was to actually take my time and write a book, I wouldn't necessarily write a book about my life. You know what I would do? I would write a book about my YouTube journey. Who I met, who I fucked with, who I argued with, who made music drops, who did this and that. When it came to Arabia Barbosa, the BT 1000, or the book would sell. Because we had other YouTube creators that did the exact same thing, wrote books about the YouTube streets. Shout out to the chat. But yeah, I just don't understand why the everyday working Joe and Jane want to fuck around with a fucking ex-NBA basketball player. He's a celebrity. He's a black celebrity, and most black celebrities are part of the boule. They're part of the black elite. They were sent here not to help, but to tear down the black community and to keep us in check. They are what I would call the black overseer. Because during slavery times, there was a such thing as a white overseer and a black overseer. And the black overseer was usually a slave, and they was given the same powers and authority as an overseer. A lot of times, the slave master didn't have a white person being as an overseer. They would use one of you niggas. So a lot of you niggas are, believe it or not, are descendants of these traitorous bastards. A lot of you niggas are related, distant relation, to these sellouts. Shout out to the chatter, shout out to the YouTube streets. Shout out to the chat, shout out to the YouTube streets. Shout out to the people that write in my comment section. Shout out to the replay, because there will be a replay for this video. But I did a video last night concerning the same subject. Let's look at Biz 101. Let's talk about Biz 101 for a minute. Didn't he grow up in the foster care system? Didn't he grow up in the group homes? So what did he do when he got older? He became what? A sexual offender. He sexually assaulted female members of society, young females at that. He was convicted of that. He was on the sex registry for almost 20 years for that. But what did he do when he came to this platform? He immediately clung on to the titty of Kwame Brown. He was being breastfed by Kwame Brown. Now, for months and for over a year, it was okay. Kwame Brown, he was praising Biz, going to the hotels with Biz, chilling with Biz, calling Biz, texting Biz, looking out for Biz. Now, all of a sudden, now it's Mad Day. Fuck Biz and this and that. But this is Kwame Brown. Shout out to the chat. Let's go back a little further down in history. Let's talk about some of the female content creators that Kwame Brown turned against, that was in his camp. And one of them is Sister T. A lot of you are familiar with her. She goes out every month, feeds the homeless. She goes out in the community. She does a lot of service work. A lot of you don't know that. But Kwame Brown, because he got mad at her, he decided he wanted to try to destroy her. What did he do? He sent his goonies on her. She messed around, got in some trouble, had to go to court, got contempt of court. They locked Sister T up for what, 2-3 days? Kwame Brown and them all laughing at her, making fun of her. Look at what they doing to Earth Day right now. Earth Day was just arrested not too long ago for jumping on her boyfriend, Mr. Jones. And what did the Kwamites do? They made content of it. That's what they did. A lot of people talk bad about Tommy Sotomayor. Let me tell you something. And I've seen it for myself on this platform where Tommy was going head to head, toe to toe with certain YouTube creators. There was one in particular, a young man. He got into it with Tommy, had been beefing with Tommy, got fucking locked up. What did Tommy do? Tommy didn't make content of him. What did he do? He got in touch with where the man was at. What did Tommy do? Tommy Sotomayor bailed out his op. Kwame Brown is not going to do that, friend or op. If you're being destroyed, if you're going down, he's celebrating it. And if he's not celebrating, those that follow him and suck his dick and sucking on his titties and licking his ass and licking his ball sack, they're the ones that doing all the laughing. They're the ones that doing all the pointing. They're the ones that doing all the judging. They're the ones that's doing all the dragging. But people don't see this. People are so fucking blind. Let's look at the rabbits. Had the rabbits come to be, They were once a part of We the People. They were chilling out with Kwame Brown. But then those that are known as the rabbits today, what did they start to do? They started questioning. They started wanting to know why. Kwame Brown couldn't have that. So what did he do? He sicked her ears to the street and Queen Regina on those group of people and conducted a thing called the rabbit trials. And everyone that was a part of the rabbit trials at that time, that was a part of We the People, some of them are now called rabbits. Some of them are now under the tutelage of Armando Black. Some of them are under Mr. Skinny. So there was a lot of the Kwamites, when they became dissatisfied with Kwame Brown and his white boy tactics, they decided to leave. They decided to join up. They either created their own kingdoms, their own organizations, their own groups, or they went to other YouTube creators. There was a lot of people. When Tommy Sotomayor left from off these YouTube streets, there was a lot of Soda Nation that went to Armando Black. There was a lot of Soda Nation members that went over there to the rabbits. There was a lot of Soda Nation members that decided they didn't want to go with those groups. So some went over there to Mr. Skinny. They didn't stay. Some went to Rumble right along with Tommy. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. But it is what it is. I'm giving you my perception of the history of this sector, of this small little sector. They call it bus life. This ain't no bus life. Because before bus life even thought about coming here, who gave birth to bus life? Who gave birth to We the People? Who gave birth to the Kwamites? You can say Kwame Brown, but who was Kwame Brown's teacher? Who was Kwame Brown's YouTube godfather? Who is the architect? Who is the blueprint? Tommy Sotomayor, and everybody fucking knows it. Snakes and Pancakes. Thank you, Uncle L, for reminding me of that song. Snakes, what was it called? Snakes and Pancakes. And that's exactly what the Kwamites did. AKA We the People. AKA That's Life. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube stream. Let's look at TJ. Let's look at that big ass gorilla over there. That big silverback over there. A lot of you have, and now you're calling him the fucking general. The general of fucking what? The general of what? Of what army? Give me a fucking break. That man is a fucking savage. A zoo animal. A piece of shit garbage. Just like everybody else that's running around with Kwame Brown. That's Kwame Brown's brother. I don't give a fuck who the fuck he is. He is another one. I remember one time he got so mad with brown-skinned lady, he threatened to find her to kidnap that poor lady over there. I don't blame brown-skinned lady for not being in this fucking sector. Look at all the bullshit she had to go through just to be here. But let me tell you something about brown-skinned lady. She fought until the fucking end. She fought to the bitter end. Look at what Moonlight is doing. Moonlight is fighting to the bitter end. Moonlight is hitting those panels. She's kicking down those fucking doors. She's cursing motherfuckers out. She's putting motherfuckers in their fucking place. Yo, shout out to Moonlight. Brooklyn, New York. I'm from Yonkers. She's from Brooklyn. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Moonlight. Shout out to Brown Skin Lady. Shout out to Sister T. And those are three women I'm thinking of right off the cuff of who was targeted the most in this sector. Then you got Miss 504. She was targeted by Damn D. Who was Damn D? He was a dick sucker of Kwame Brown. All this trouble, all this drama is coming from Kwame Brown. I don't care if Damn D is arguing with Kwame Brown right now and TJ and all of them. Damn D went after Sister T. Trolling the woman so much, he started dressing like her. You know why? Because he want to be Sister T. Damn, I didn't know Sister T had it in her. Only thing Sister T come here is do her content, mind her own fucking business. She's human. She makes mistakes like everybody else. But some motherfuckers want to be Sister T. And I'm not talking about the women. I'm talking about the males, the beta males. There's a lot of them that want to be Sister T. There's a lot of them that want to be Empress Lonnie One Love. Look at them. Look at those Kwame males. There's a lot of them over there that sing the praises of Lonnie. That's because they want to be Lonnie. Shout out to the chat. They're in touch with their Keisha, so they identify with certain women on this platform, whether it be negative or positive. I'm just giving you two examples. Two examples. Now, I know a lot of people don't like Queen Regina, but Queen Regina was a victim of the Kwame Brown camp as well. But before all that, she did a lot of dirty work for Kwame Brown. Let's not forget about that. There's been others. It's been brought to my attention recently that Earth Day is a doxer. But Earth Day has gotten her karma. She got fucking locked up. Fucking locked up. And her own people did it to her. She's a pancake snake. She's a snake pancake, whatever that is. She got eaten by the crabs. Shout out to the chat. She became crab food. She became lobster food. She became shrimp food. She became slop for the pigs, for the hogs, for the boars. That's what Earth Day became. All you women over there, you think you riding high on the horse with that goddamn Kwame Brown, you shall soon see. Soon come. You shall soon find out. You shall soon see. Soon come. I got that expression from my sister. And she got that expression from the Jamaicans. Because we lived in New York for many, many years. Born, raised there, went to school. And I remember one day she said, soon come. I said, soon come. I said, girl, speak that English. And my sister would talk that patois in a minute. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. But yeah, man. And I know a lot of people are not going to listen to this. I know a lot of people are not going to pay attention to this. Because they think Arabia is losing her mind. They think I'm having some kind of psychotic breakdown. You haven't seen a psychotic breakdown until you have met me when I was younger. That's when I used to have psychotic breakdowns. The breaking of reality It got so bad for me, I couldn't even describe it. It's a nightmare when you break from reality. It's a nightmare when you live in paranoia. It's a nightmare when you feel that you can't trust anybody or you can't believe nobody. Recently, certain things have been coming up, and I recognize the signs. I recognize my own triggers. I did a video about it the other day. What is it? The Art of War, the Trojan Horse. Because I have a tingly going on in my head about certain people on this app. I started looking a certain way at them. And that's one thing about me. I will tell you about me. I could love you for years and years. I could like you for years and years. Only one tiny touch, and it'll trigger something. And then I start being suspicious. And then I'll be wondering, why that person fucking with me? And the person didn't do a goddamn thing. They don't even know. So when certain things start with me and I recognize the triggers, I say, oh, I better get that under control before it becomes a break. Because I know what can break me. Nobody on this app can do shit to me. Only me. Only I can put out my own forest fires. Nobody else. Shout out to the chat. Sometimes I'll go to work. I'll go on a job and the job be going all good. Whoop-de-whoop. And then all of a sudden, that person said so-and-so. I better watch them. Next thing you know, I stop talking to that person. I stop being around them. I start watching them a little bit more close. I start analyzing every fucking thing they do. And then I gotta catch myself. Because it's very easy. So shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. Shout out to everyone that supports this channel. Those that have been supporting the short videos, I really appreciate your support. I appreciate you watching those videos. I wish I could monetize my channel. If I could monetize this channel that I have, and I should monetize it, I would be all right. A little bit. I know YouTube don't pay that much, but it would be nice to have a monetized channel where people could come to and chill out and, X, Y, and Z. I don't have to ask nobody, It is what it is. Let YouTube handle it. I would just need the watch time hours. It's a lot of politics with being monetized, so I don't even go down that way. But I think about it every now and then. I should have been monetized. When I had my other channel, I should have been monetized. I should have been monetized 2-3 years ago. Not on this channel, but there was another channel I had. I should have been monetized. But I never did. Because I always had this feeling in the back of my head or in the back of my mind that somebody was going to be a hater and try to, take me out, assassinate me. Not in real life, but just assassinate the channel. because they have tried. There are some people on this app that have tried to assassinate the Arabia Barbosa BT-1000. Emotionally, spiritually, on a high profile level. And I will never forget that. Even though they laugh and kiki with me now, in the back of my mind, the art of war. I ain't gonna never have a fishbowl memory. I'm always gonna remember. I don't have to dwell on it. Forgive, but don't forget. Keep in mind. Because these people, they're not solid in their convictions. So I always got to watch my own back. I can't ask somebody else, look, I need you to be my bodyguard. I need a bodyguard when I come into this chat or when I go live. I don't need no bodyguard when I go in somebody's chat. I don't need no bodyguard when I hit the fucking link. I don't need no bodyguard when I'm over here on my own platform or my own channel talking shit. But everything I'm talking is facts. It's true. And it's not being fueled by pain pills. It's not being fueled by any kind of alcoholic drinks. Shout out to the chat. Thank God for that. If people understand, you can take a look at what I was maybe a year or 2 years ago and match it up to now. It's a big difference. The face is still the same. The voice is still the same. The spirit is still the same. The soul is still the same. But I'm in a better place now. If I do take a sip of beer or wine or a fireball, it's my business. But I know I have better sense now to know not to let it consume me. Or if it is consuming me, I need to lay down and take a fucking nap and don't worry about hitting the live button just because I can. So shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. It is what it is. I said my piece. And I'm going to keep saying it for as long as I'm here on these YouTube streets. Do not trust Kwame Brown or the Kwamites. Those of you that were part of We the People, you knew what it took for you to leave from over at that camp. I know that that's why a lot of you like to do those reaction videos, because you want the whole world to know what it is that's going on over there. But sometimes you do it too much, sis. You do it too much. But sis got his own reason for doing certain shit. I understand that. Because believe it or not, they try to destroy sis. But sis was very strong. He's very strong. And look who they used. Queen Regina and Ears to the Street. Iceberg know the history of this sector. He is giving lessons on the history of that sector. Y'all need to go over there and look at Iceberg's channel, Iceberg Thoughts. He's right there on his channel. Sis played the videos. It's right there on his channels. So people don't forget, but people got a fishbowl memory. When Brown Skin Lady go live, listen to what Brown Skin Lady say. I know there's a video where Sister T smoked the shit out of Kwame Brown. That video is still out there, still floating. Check it out. People need not have a fishbowl memory. Remember who the fuck that man is. And remember what he does to the people that follow him. Because look at Anthony. Anthony was basically trying to be friendly with Kwame Brown and the people in those camps. And look what they did. They doxed him. Yeah. That's something they're not going to tell you. They're going to tell you all kinds of shit. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh. But those were the same people that doxed him. Those are the same people that they released information when he got locked up down there in Atlanta, Georgia. Those are the same people. But y'all believe them. Y'all listen to them. Y'all support them. You cash app them. That's ridiculous. I don't understand why people support Kev Lowe and those clowns over there. It's ridiculous. Since he got so many businesses, let the businesses take care of Kev Lowe. I bet y'all stop supporting him like the way y'all was. That nigga would disappear off of the YouTubes. For real. I'm saying that. Nobody else is saying that. Shout out to the chat. So we out of here, but I just wanted to... I went live earlier, but that video wasn't good enough. So I had to do this video, the BT1000 way. Forget about taking it off my name and taking it off my handle. That's the way it's going to be. That's the way it's going to stay. That's the way people found me. That's the way people going to leave me. Shout out to the chat. Because you can't be nice. You can't be a sweetheart. You got to be a bitch. But I wasn't born that way. I was created. Remember that.